In this video, I'm going to be talking about tinychat, social media sites, and their influence, including YouTube. And I know you NSA motherfuckers are going to see this, because you already don't like me. You don't like me because I'm black. You don't like me because I stick up for the poor people. You don't like me because I stick up for the Africans. You don't like me because I'm half white. You don't like me because in this video I'm wearing an African shirt. You don't like me because I got the Know Your Enemy shirt up there. You don't like me because I'm a black Christian. You don't like me because of my African name. You don't like me because of the Christian words on the wall while you're trying to destroy religions and institutions that are not your institutions to bring in a new order. This is why Kim Jong-un passed away recently, and you offered North Korea food aid before he died, knowing he would die, trying to avoid me saying this and other critics saying this as well. That is why my video about the spy drone didn't go viral and other videos passed it up, because you had put a stop to it. You had put that internet kill switch. You know, you had, except for it was just for my internet video. You know, it's easy for them to freeze which videos and to control which videos you see and to control which sites pop up on top of the list. You know, it's not just by which ones you click, it's also by which ones they present, and they can manipulate that behind the scenes, and you have no way of knowing unless you know what to look for. So, going back to social media sites and how the government watches you and how this is some 1984 Orwellian shit come true, it is very important that you bear in mind that these are people with no allegiance to anyone but themselves and their family. If you think about any family within a group, like say a Mexican family for instance, and they're a very family-oriented people, and sometimes they have big families, okay? And if you think about what they do and how they relate to society and how there'll be feuds within families and within cities because their family structure is more important to them than their tribe, than their nation, etc. So to control somebody, the Illuminati said, we're going to break that down. Now I'm going to elaborate on how they use women, like on tinychat. Okay, tinychat, typically you'll have a chat room where a clever man will team up with pretty women and whoever he becomes friends with. You'll see this in different sites. See this in different habits that people have and how they share them with each other and how they rub off on each other. Look, I have nothing against people having free will. I have everything against the devil and them using that free will to further his cause. So when I see on tinychat that women are sluts, that people are taking away each other's free speech, how do you think that judge justified taking away that woman's free speech by allowing that lawsuit against her comment in the blog? He justified it because you people on tinychat do it all the time. You people on websites that allow people to ban other people for what they say, and people moderating and being administrators on websites and kicking people off for petty violations that have to do with free speech. I'm not talking about threats and stuff like this, which, if you ask me, should be allowed too, because we're on the internet here. If you're going to complain about someone threatening you on the internet, Maybe you should be checked into a mental institution. You know, maybe you're one of those few people that has a mental disorder. But anyway, some people might say, oh, my videos are threatening. That's how preposterous it is. Okay, so because I'm upset and I'm pointing out the facts and I'm a very serious man, that makes it a threat. Because the way the law is written, it's not what you say, but how they perceive it. So when you're dealing with the perception of fools, let me give you an example. The case of a guy threatening his girlfriend, for instance. Let's say the guy's been with his girlfriend a couple months or so, right? You know? And that girl knows that he's not going to do anything. Because as you saw in 12 Angry Men, people threaten each other all the time. Oh, you better do it, honey. She could call the cops right there and say, oh, he said you better do it. And I took it as a threat of physical harm. It's that lack of understanding that if you grease the system, they're going to use that to grease you and say that's what people do anyway. For example, when the prison guards in the Code of Silence documentary wanted to justify why there was corrupt prison guards, they said the same 5%, 90% rule that exists in society exists in the prison as well. In the staff at the prisons as well. Like Pelican Bay, Folsom, San Quentin, Tracy, you name it. Pitches Center in Los Angeles, Men's Central, okay, LA County. Doesn't matter whether we're talking about county or the pen or level 2. Or a mental institution where the Code of Silence exists there as well. And just like food is a big deal in prison, and it is a big deal to the North Koreans, who we waited till their leader was on his way out before we sent them any, to make it seem like, oh, that had nothing to do with it. Oh, we didn't know. Yeah, like we didn't strike that deal under the table while he was on his deathbed. Reminds me of Alexander the Great's generals arguing over splitting up his territories while he was on his deathbed in Babylon. Around 323 BCE, if I'm not mistaken. I have so many dates going through. If you see those timelines I deal with, you'd understand why I was mistaken if I am mistaken. But anyway, in conclusion, if the right to persecute somebody over what they say is not carefully applied with great discernment and discretion and careful perception, then the same measure that you judge will be applied to you. And it won't even take till you die. It will be applied to you by the government. It's do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I will go as far as to say all those women, and I met many of them in my life, that have turned to the law because it's easy to demonize a black man. And for what he said even. I've seen women compare a small tap on the shoulder to a woman who'd been abused, missing teeth with 2 black eyes. I've seen women compare a threat made from 2 hours away in a moment of great disagreement to a threat made in somebody's face with a butcher knife to their throat. And I've seen judges pass out sentences as if it was the same thing. And I've seen judges give black people harsher sentences. And I've seen 50% of the prison being black and almost 30% of the military being black. So you can't say it's because they're lazy. I've seen poverty overlap with crime and being black and Mexican overlap with poverty. And I've seen scum and whores on tinychat ban righteous men for directing them the right way. And I've been banned for that very reason. Think before you act.